Hey YouTube, welcome back. This is about day 2. Maybe it's more like day 2.5 of this character. We're currently level 86. We've been in Empowered Monoliths for just a hot minute, and I want to give you a couple of the updates for what we've been working on. I said on the first update that we had like a spicy bow that we were going to try to use, and we made it on the first try. It was incredibly easy to make, but this is what we're currently working with. So we are playing a bleed detonating arrow marksman, and we're using a Rain of Winter because if you think about it, the percent chance to cast Icicle on bow hit, while the Icicle itself is not a bow hit and doesn't benefit from chance to bleed on bow hit, we do basically have a 26% more damage multiplier because 26% of the time we're attacking twice, if you think about it, right? So detonating arrow, when we shoot it, yeah, the idea of the build is detonating arrow when we hit, it has the initial arrow that hits, it has the explosion, which counts as a bow hit, and then it also has the tendrils, which count as a bow hit. So it's important to note that if you did this as poison, it does not work because poison turns off the tendrils. Poisons, you would only get 2 hits. You get the bow and the explosion, but we have the bow, the explosion, and the tendrils. So the bow, the explosion, and the tendrils are all bow hits. They can all poison. And the bow, the explosion, and the tendrils can also have a 26% chance of shooting an icicle as well. So 26% of the time, each of those 3 will also shoot an icicle. So we could potentially click detonating arrow 1 time and hit 6 times, because that'd be like a kind of a high roll. It'd have the 3 initial hits, and then all 3 of those would also cast the icicle as well. So to go with that, we also have a lot of bow attack speed on our arrow guard and on the Rain of Winter. So we have tier 6 bow attack speed and tier 7 bow attack speed on the arrow guard, because Rain of Winter only has a 0.92 base attack speed. So to make this happen, you really want a lot of attack speed in order to make the build feel good. So that's where we're coming from. One other important thing to note is that in our blessings, where you would normally get Crit Avoid blessing, or where you normally get plus 20 all resistance blessing, we're instead getting chance to bleed on hit, because the chance to bleed on hit also scales the bleed chance of the icicle itself. So the icicle gets bleed chance generically, it gets bleed chance from the blessing that we have, then it also gets bleed chance from the puncture global buff here, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times 6, so it's 360, that's 440-ish percent chance to bleed, along with Crimson, which is another 50, so it's like 490. And then this is bleed on bow hit, so this doesn't scale icicle. Let's see, I don't think there's anything else. I think like this thing, or bow attack. So this wouldn't work, right? Because of the spell. All right, so that's kind of the idea of the build. Nothing too out of the ordinary. Remember, we are using Xithara's Conundrum, which gives us more physical damage at full life. So we need to have as much life gain on skill use, life gain on hit, and life gain on crit, and life gain on dark arrow, dark quiver pickup, and life gain on shift. It's possible. We also get life gain on kill from Valdir's to try to make this whole thing work. Currently, it looks like my dummy DPS, my biggest ticks are like 120,000, which is not particularly big. So we're going to see if we can get more beeps. Currently, my idols are all just like resistance, 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 because we really need resistance in this build. My blessings are kind of all over the place. We're using a 1 LP Woven Flesh in order to cover all of my Crit Avoid. So I have 0 Crit Avoid without this thing. We want 2 LP, but we only have 1. So it is what it is. The Thorn Slinger is Hybrid Life and Cleanse. The Salt the Wound has tier 5 hybrid life. The Lessons in the Metropolis give us dodge if we've been hit recently, and then has tier 5 vitality, tier 5 life, and then the Valdir's Chalice has tier 6 fizz damage on it. So that's what we're currently working with. We'll keep working on this. This is like day 2, day 2.5, and we'll see if we can post a build guide in the future talking about how we started with the Xithara's Conundrum in a dream and made something that might be playable. We'll see. I'll tell you later.